My name is Amy Bowen, and I am the Director of Consumer Sensory and Market Insights at the Vineland Research and Innovation Center. A lot of what I do is trying to understand what are the needs of the consumer, and then also thinking about who the consumer is along a supply chain that brings a horticultural product like a fruit or vegetable to market. Apples is a great example of a project I've been working on for a long time, where we started doing everything from understanding what are the consumer drivers that consumers are looking for a fresh market apple, and then how we can use that based on the taste, the flavor, the textures of it. There's so much diversity out there, and not everybody's looking for the same thing. And when that person is in there shopping, picking out that apple, they might want it for different purposes. So they might pick a different apple if they're making it to put in their kids' lunch versus an apple that they're going to be using for entertaining or making a cheese board. So basically, I want them to pick up an apple and then, smile and be like, yeah, I want to buy this one again. In order to be part of our trained sensory panel that we have at Vineland, it's not so much about your educational background or experience. It really comes down to their sensory acuity, or their ability to be able to perceive their senses. So what we do to find people is we put out ads to the local community. And we say, we're looking for people that are interested in, fruits and vegetables that want to join our panel. And then we go through a series of exercises to screen them to see if they make the cut. Can they, perceive differences in color? Can they perceive differences in flavors and textures and tastes? And can they do that reproducibly? For these different products. And then we train them on, specific methods. At Vineland, we have a specialized room set up to do these taste panels. So it's our sensory and consumer laboratory. And what we have in there is we have 10 different booths. And then there would be a hatch that opens up that would pass them the samples. So everything in the room is white, because we know color influences perception, can influence your mood. And we generally present everything coded and blind. So they don't know what it is. They know it's an apple, obviously, because, we'll tell them that, but they don't know what type of apple or what the purpose of it is. And then we ask them to evaluate it based on a set of attributes. The other thing that we do, because we know that appearance impacts how we perceive things, is that we put red light on in the room when they're evaluating the apples. And so what this does is it masks the skin color of the apple, because most people, if you ask them which is sweeter, a red apple or a green apple, most people think that red is more sweet, the green is more tart, and that the yellow apples are softer. So if you have that preconceived notion when you're coming in and we give you one that has a yellow skin, you might automatically think, well, this isn't going to be very crisp or very sweet. And so what we want to do is we want to remove that color bias, and so that they're actually evaluating the apples for their true sensory characteristics and not based on maybe what they think that they might be perceived as. So in terms of varieties that come out of our program, for apples, we haven't released any yet. We're still in the process. What surprises most people is that on average, it takes, 15 to 20 years for a new apple variety to come out onto the market. We started our apple breeding program in 2011. So we're on our way, but we're not there yet in terms of it. In terms of some of our other breeding programs where we've used sort of similar approaches, we have roses that have been released out of that from the 49th Parallel collection. So Canadian Shield, which is a red rose. We have Aurora Borealis, which is a pink rose. Chinook Sunrise, which is a peach colored rose. And we have Radiance, which is one of the varieties that has come out of our sweet potato breeding program that's available, as well as some varieties that are licensed in Europe under some different sort of trade names there. And then in tomatoes, we're getting close to sort of releasing, our first varieties from that program.